When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grey Malkin.
Paddock ho.
And on. Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
Where hast thou been, sister?
Killing swine.
Sister, where thou?
A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched and munched and munched. Give me, quoth I. Aroint thee, witch, the rump-fed runyon cries. Her husband's to Aleppo gone, master of the tiger. But in a sieve all thither sail, and like a rat without a tail. I'll do, and I'll do.
I'll give thee a wind.
Thou'rt kind.
And I another.
I myself have all the other. And the very ports they blow, all the quarters that they know. I' the shipman's card I'll drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day. Hang upon his penthouse lid shall he live. A man forbid. Weary 7 nights 9 times 9 shall he dwindle, peak, and pine. Though his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest-tossed. Look what I have.
Show me, show me.
Here I have a pilot's thumb, wrecked as homeward he did come.
A drum, a drum. Macbeth doth come! The weird sisters, hand in hand, hosters of the sea and land, thus do go about, thrice to thine, and thrice to mine, and thrice again, to make up 9. Peace. The charm's wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen. How forest called the forest? What are these? So withered and so wild in their attire that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it. Live you? Or you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me. By each at once her choppy finger laying upon her skinny lips. You should be women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so. Speak, if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are you fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly you show? My noble partner, you greet with present grace and great prediction of noble having and of royal hope that he seems wrapped withal. To me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate.
Hail!
Hail! Hail!
Lesser than Macbeth and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay! You imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Sinel's death, I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak! I charge you!
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and this is of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air. And what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed?
Were such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings,
You shall be king.
and Thane of Cawdor, too. Went it not so?
To the self-same tune and words. Who's here?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. And when he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' fight, his wonders and his praises do contend what should be thine or his. Silence in that. In viewing of the rest the self-same day, he finds you in the stout Norwayn ranks, nothing afeard of what thyself didst make, strange images of death. As thick as tale came post with post, and all did bear down thy praises in his kingdom's great defense, and poured them down before him.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only herald thee in a sight, not pay thee.
And in an earnest of a greater honor, he bade me from him to call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which addition, most worthy Thane, hail, for it is thine.
What can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with hidden help and vantage, or labor both in his country's wrack, I know not. But treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
That trusted home might yet unkindle you unto the crown besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange. And oftentimes, to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths. Win us with honest trifles to betrays in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told, as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill. Cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth I am Thane of Cawdor? If good, why do I yield to that suggestion, whose horrid image doth unfix my hair, and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partners rap.
If chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my stir.
New honors come upon him. Like our strange garments, cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may, time and the hour run through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered where every day I turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and at more time, the interim, having waited, let us speak our free hearts, each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough. Come, friends.
Is execution done on Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like leaving it. He doubted one that had been studied in his death to throw away the dearest thing he owed us to our careless trifle.
There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman, of which I built an absolute trust. Worthiest cousin! The sins of my ingratitude even now are heavy on me. Thou art so far before that swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee. Would thou hadst less deserved that the proportions of both thanks and payment would have been mine. Only I have left to say, More is thy due than more than all can pay.
The service and loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your Highness' part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne, and servants and state children, which do but what they should, by doing everything safe toward your love and honor.
Oh, welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and shall labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, that is no less deserved, nor should be known no less for doing so. Let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
Oh, my plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and those of you whose places are the nearest, know that we shall establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, who we shall name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, which honor must not unaccompanied him, but only signs of nobleness, like stars shall shine on all deservers, from hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
The rest is labor, which is used not for you. I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly, take my leave.
Oh, my worthy Cawdor. True worthy Banquo, he is full so valiant, and in his accommodations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Come, let us after him whose care has gone before to bid us welcome. 'Tis a peerless kinsman. Oh.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down or else o'erleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires. The eye winketh the hand, yet let that be which the eye fears when it is done to see.
They met me in the day of success, and I've learned by the perfect report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time with, Hail, King that shalt be! This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner in greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart in farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet I do fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily. Thou wouldst not play false, and yet would strongly win. Thou wouldst have, great Glamis, that which cries thus thou must do, if thou have it, and that rather thou dost fear to do than wishest be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who, were it so, would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who, almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than would make up his message.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my felt purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold. Great Gloms, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter, thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love. Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He who's coming must be provided for. And you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, where shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our great senses.
This guest of summer, this temple haunting martlet, does approve by his loved masonry that the heaven's breath smells wooingly here. No jutty, frieze, buttress, nor coign of vantage, but this bird hath made his pendant bed and procreant cradle. Where they most breed and haunt, I have observed, the air is delicate.
Oh, see, our honored hostess. The love that follows us sometime is our trouble, which we still thank as love. Herein I teach you how to bid God ild us for your pains and thank us for your troubles.
All our service, and every point twice done and then done double, were poor and single business to contend against those honors deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house. For those of old and the late dignities heaped up to them, we rest your hermits.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the heel and had a purpose to be his purveyor, but he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spur, hath helped him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs themselves, and what is theirs in compt, to make their audit at your highness's pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand. Oh, conduct me to mine host. We love him highly, and shall continue our good graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
If it were done, when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. But in these cases, we still have judgment here. That we but teach bloody instruction, which being taught returns to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then, as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues shall plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off. And pity, like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim, horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. How now? What news?
He hath almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you not, he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I've bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which should be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Whoa. Hath it slept since? And wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem'st the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would like the poor cat at the adage?
Prithee, peace! I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast wast then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more than man. Nor time nor place did it here, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now doesn't make you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail...
We fail, but screw your courage to the sticking place and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his two chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason a limbic only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lies as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? Would not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men children only. For thy undaunted mettle should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber, and used their very daggers that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death?
I'm settled, and bend up each corporal agent to the terrible feat. Away, and mock time with fairest show. The false face must hide what the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12?
I take it this later, sir.
Hold. Take my sword. There's husbandry in heaven. Her candles are all out. Take thee that, too. A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. Who's there?
A friend.
Would sir not yet at rest? The king's abed. He hath been in unusual pleasure and sends forth great largesse to your offices. Oh, this diamond. He greets your wife withal by the name of most kind hostess and shut up in measureless content.
Well, being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect. Which else should free have wrought?
All's well. I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you they have showed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, when we can entreat an hour to serve, we should spend it in some words upon that business, if you would grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent, when 'tis, it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and my allegiance clear. I shall be counseled.
Good. Repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The like to you.
Go! God. Go bid thy mistress. When my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. Go! Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. No. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling, as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat oppressed brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshalest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made the fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing! It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now, over the one-half world, nature seems dead. Wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings, and withered murder alarumed by his sentinel, the wolf whose howls his watch, thus with his stealthy pace. With Tarquin's ravishing strides, towards which design moves like a ghost. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabouts, and take present horrors from the time which now suits with it. Whilst I threat, he lives. Words to the heat of deeds too cold breath gives. I go and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell which summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark, peace. It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman that gives the sterns good night. He is about it. The doors are open and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their posets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there? What ho?
Alack, I'm afraid they've awakened and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark! I laid their daggers ready, he could not miss 'em. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. My husband.
I've done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now.
As I descended?
Aye.
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Donalbain.
This is a sorry sight.
Foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in sleep, and one cried murder, that they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers, and addressed them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other. As they'd seen me with these hangman's hands, listening their fears, I could not say amen when they did say, God bless us.
Consider it not so
But
deep.
wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth hath murdered sleep, the innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care. The death of each day's life. Sore labor's bath, balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course, chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more to all the house. Globs hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Go get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think what I've done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? They pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hands? No, this my hand will rather the multitudinous sea incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. More knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best to not know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking. I would thou couldst.
Here's a knocking indeed. If a man were porter of Hell's Gate, he should have hold the turning key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Here's a farmer that came here, that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Oh, come in time. Have napkins enough about you. Here, you'll sweat for it. Knock, knock. Who's there in the other devil's name? Faith, here's an equivocator that could swear in both scales against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. Knock, knock, knock! Who's there? Faith, here's an English tailor, come hither for stealing out of a French hose. Oh, come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock, knock! Never quiet. What are you? This place is too cold for hell. I'll devil porter it no further. Though I have thought to have let in some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. And on. I pray you remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we were carousing until the second cock, and drink is a great provoker of three things.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, it provokes and it unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him and it mars him. It sets him on and sets him off. It persuades him and disheartens him. Makes him stand to and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him in a sleep, and giving him the lie, leaves him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir. Hit the very throat on me. But I requited him for his lie, and I think being too strong for him, though he took up my legs sometimes. Yet I made a shift to cast him.
Is thy master stirring? Our knocking has awaked him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I have almost slipped the hour.
I will bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in, physics pain. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly where we lay. Our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, lamentings heard in the air, strange screams of death and prophesizing with accents terrible, of dire combustion and confused events. New hatched to the woeful time, the obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
No! Oh, horror! 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 Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
What's the matter?
Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke up the Lord's anointed temple, and stole thence the life of the building.
What is to say, the life?
Mean you his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with the new Gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See, and then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell, murder and treason. Bakewoman Donalbain Malcolm, awake! Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself. Up, up, and see the great doom's image. Bakewoman Malcolm, as from your graves, rise up and walk like sprites to countenance this horror. Ring the bell.
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak, speak.
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo, our royal master is murdered.
Oh, alas, what, in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Duff, I prithee contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time. For from this instant there's nothing serious in mortality, all is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lees is left this very vault to brag of.
What is amiss?
You are, and do not know it. The head, the spring, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father is murdered.
By whom?
Those of his chambers, it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were all badged with blood. So were their daggers, which, unwiped, we found upon their pillows.
They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Yet I do repent me of my fury, that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate, and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man! The expedition of my violent love outran the pauser, reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. There, the murderers, steeped in the color of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain? That had a heart to love, and in that heart courage to make love known.
Help me hence. Oh,
Look to the lady.
Look to the lady. And when we have our naked frailties hid that suffer in exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
So do I.
So all.
Let us briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Well contented.
Well contented.
To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. All to England. Where I am, there's daggers and men's smiles. The near in blood, the nearer bloody. This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse. There's warrant in that theft which seals itself when there's no mercy left.
10, I can remember well, within the volume of which time I have seen hours strange and things dreadful. But this sore night hath trifled all former knowing.
Good mother, thou seest the heavens, as troubled with man's act that threatens his bloody stage? By the clock 'tis day, and yet dark nights strangle the traveling lamps. It's the night's predominance o'er the day's shame that darkness does the face of the earth entomb when living light should kiss it.
'Tis unnatural indeed, even like the deed that's done on Tuesday last. A falcon towering in her pride of place was by a mousing owl hawked at and killed.
And Duncan's horses, a thing most curious and strange, beauteous and swift, the minions of their race, turned wild in nature, broke their stalls, flung out, contending against obedience as to make war with mankind.
'Tis said they eat each other.
That they did to the amazement of mine eyes that looked upon it. Here comes the good Macduff. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
Is known who's done this more than bloody deed?
Those the Macbeth hath slain?
Alas the day, what good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature's thrill, the ruthless ambition that ravens up that unknown lives means. Then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where's Duncan's body?
Carried to Colmkill, sacred storehouse of his predecessors and guardian of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin. I'll to Fife.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu, lest our old robes sit easier than our new.
Farewell, mother.
God's benison go with you, and with those that would make good of bad and friends of foes.
Thou hast it now? King, Cawdor, Glamis, all as the weird women promised. And I fear thou playest most foully for it. Yet it was said that it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine, why by the verities on thee may good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me that to the which my duties are with a most indissoluble tie, forever knit.
Ready this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
We should have else desired your good advice, which hath been both grave and prosperous in this day's council, but we'll take tomorrow. As far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper, go not my horse the better. I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their hearers with strange invention. But of that tomorrow, when therewithal we shall have cause of state craving us jointly. Hie you to horse, adieu, till you return at night. Goes Fleance with you?
Aye, my good lord. Our time does call upon us.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, we will keep ourselves till supper time alone. Well then, God be with you. Sirrah, a word with you. Attend those gentlemen our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There is none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked. As it is said, Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me and bade them speak to him. Then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown and put a barren scepter in my grip, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand. No son of mine succeeding. If to be so, then for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered. Put rancors in the vessel of my peace, only for them, mine eternal jewel, given to the common enemy of man to make them kings. The seed of Banquo, kings? Rather than so, come fate into the list and champion me to the utterance. Who's there? And I go to the door and wait till we call. Was it not yesterday that we spoke together?
It was, so please, your highness.
Well then, now, have you considered of my speeches? Know that it was he, in times past, which held you so under fortune, which you had thought had been our innocent self. This I made good to you in our last conference, passed in probation with you, how you were borne in hand, how crossed, the instruments, who wrought with them, and all things else that might to half a soul or to a notion crazed say, thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
I did so and went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospeled that you can pray for this good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed you to the grave and beggared yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the catalogue you go for men. As hounds, greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs, chows, water rugs, and demi-wolves are all clept by the name dog. The valued file distinguishes the swift, the slow, the subtle, the housekeeper, the hunters. every one according to the bounteous gift which nature hath in him closed, whereby he does receive particular addition from the bill that writes them all alike. And so of men. Now, if you have a station in the file not in the worst rank of manhood, say it, and I will put that business to your bosom, whose execution takes your enemy off, and grapples you to the heart and love of us, who were our health but sickly in his life, which in his death were perfect.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile buffets and blows of the world hath so incensed that I am reckless what I do despite it.
And I another, so weary with disaster, tugged with fortune, that I would set my life on any chance to mend it or be rid onto it.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is he mine. And in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life. And though I could, with barefaced power, sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it, yet I must not. For certain friends, both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself struck down. And thence it is that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Though our
Your
lives...
spirit shine through you. Within this hour at most, I will advise you where to plant yourselves, acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time and the moment on it, for it must be done tonight, and something from the palace. Always thought that I require a clearness, and with him, to leave no rubs nor botches in the work. Fleance, his son, that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved, my lord.
I'll call upon you straight. Abide within. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Naught's had all spent, when our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy, than in destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which should indeed have died with them, they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scorched the snake, not killed it. In time she'll close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint, both the worlds suffer, ere we will eat our meals in fear, and sleep in the afflictions of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we, to gain our peace, have sent to peace, than lie on the torture of the mind in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further.
Come on, gentle my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence both with eye and tongue, unsafe the while that we must lave our honors in these flattering streams, making our faces vizards to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou knowest Banquo and his Fleance lives.
But in them nature's copy is not etern.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou jocund, ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate summons the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hum, hath rung night's yawning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, whiles night's black agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So prithee, go with me.
But who did bid thee join with us?
Macbeth.
She needs not our mistrust, since to our offices she delivers what we have to do to the direction just.
Then stand with us. The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the ladded travelers apace to gain the timely inn, and near approaches the subject of our watch.
Hark! I hear horses.
Give us a light there, ho!
Then 'tis he. The rest that are within the note of expectation are already in the court.
His horses go about.
Almost a mile, but he does usually. So all men do, from hence to the palace gate, make it their walk.
A light, a light.
'Tis he.
Stand to it.
There will be rain tonight.
Let it come
No! Oh, treachery! No!
Who did strike out the light?
Was it not the way?
There's one down.
Then let us away and say how much is done.
You know your own degrees. Sit down. To first and last, the hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
Ourself will mingle and play the humble host. Our hostess shall keep her state, though in time we will require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir. To all our friends, for my heart speaks they are welcome.
See, they encounter thee with thy heart's thanks. Both sides are even here, I'll sit in the midst. Be large in mirth. Anon, we'll drink a measure. The table round. There's blood upon thy face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
'Tis better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Thou art the best of the coat threat. Thou art the best of the throat cuts. Yet he's good that did the like for Fleance. If thou didst it, thou art the nonpareil.
Most royal, sir. Fleance escaped.
There comes my fit again. I had else been perfect, as whole as the rock, as founded as the marble, as broad and general as the casing air, but now I am cabined, confined, cribbed, bound into saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo's safe?
Aye, my good lord. Safe in a ditch he bides with 20 treacherous gashes in his head, the least a death to nature.
Thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies. The snake hath fled, that in time hath nature, that venom will breed. No teeth for the present. Get thee gone. We'll confer tomorrow.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer. The feast is sold that is not often vouched, while 'tis a making 'tis given with welcome. To feed were best at home, from thence the sauce to meat is ceremony. Meeting were bare without it.
Sweet remembrance, sir. Now, good digestion wait on appetite, and health on both.
May it please your highness, sit.
Here, we had the great honor of our country roofed, were the graced person of our Banquo present, whom I may rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence lays blame upon his promise, your majesty. Please it to grace us with your royal presence.
The table's full.
Here is a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is it that moves, your highness?
Which of you have done this?
Done what, my lord?
Thou canst not say that I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me. No.
Rise, his highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Pray you keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought he will again be well. If much you note him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
Aye, and a bold one, which looks on that which might appall the devil.
Oh, proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger you said led you to Duncan. These flaws and starts impostors to true fear would well become a woman's story at a winter's fire authorized by her grandam. Shame itself. Why do you make such faces? When all's done, you look but on a chair.
No, prithee! Look! See there! Lo! What say you? What care I? If thou canst nod, speak too! If our charnel houses and our graves send those that we bury back, our monument shall be the maws of kites!
What? Quite unmanned in folly?
If I stand here, I saw him.
Fie for shame.
Blood hath been shed, ere now, in the olden times, ere the humane statute purged the gentle wheel, aye, and since 2 murders have been performed, too terrible for the ear. The time has been, when the brains were out, the man would die, and there an end. Now, they rise again, with 20 mortal murders on their crowns, and push us from our chairs. This is more strange than such a murder is!
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all, then I'll sit down. Give me some wine. Fill full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would he were here. To all and him we thirst, and all to all.
Our duties and the pledge.
Die! Avaunt! And quit my sight! Let the earth hide thee! Thy bones are marrowless! Thy blood is cold! Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with!
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom, 'tis no other. Only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
When man may dare, I may dare! Approach thou like the rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros, or the Hyrcan tiger. Take any shape but that, and my firm nerves shall never tremble! Or be alive again, and dare me to the desert with thy sword. If trembling I inhabit then, protest me the baby of a girl. Hence horrible shadow, unreal mockery, hence! Why, so being gone, I'm a man again. I pray you, sit still!
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting with most admired disorder.
Can such things be, and overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder? You make me strange! Even to that disposition which I think I owe. When I think you can behold such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks while mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
Pray you! Speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not on the order if you're going, but go at once.
Good night, and better health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. Trees have been known to speak, stones to move, agores and understood relations have by maggot pies, and shows and rooks brought forth the secret man of blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning, which is which.
What sayest thou? That Macduff denies his person at our great bidding.
Did you send for him, sir?
I hear it by the way. But I will send. There's not a one of them but in his house that I do keep a servant feed. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will to the weird sisters. More shall they speak, for now I am bent to know by the worst means the worst. For mine own good, all causes shall give way. I am in blood stepped in so far that, should I wait no more, returning were as tedious as gore. Strange things I have in head that will to hand, which may be acted ere they may be scanned.
You lack the season of all natures, sleep.
Yeah. Come, will to sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We're yet but young indeed. You know.
Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed.
Thrice and once the hedge, big wine.
Harpier cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails throw. Toad that under cold stone days and nights has 31. Sweltered venom, sleeping got, boil thou first in the charmed pot.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron bubble.
Fillet of the fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blindworm's sting, lizard's leg and howlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron bubble. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf of the raven, salt sea shark, root of hemlock digged i' the dark, liver of blaspheming Jew, gall of goat and slips of yew, slivered in the moon's eclipse, nose of Turk and Tartar's lips. Finger of birth-strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab. Make the gruel thick and slab, add thereto a tiger's chaldron for the ingredients of our cauldron. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron bubble.
Cool it with the baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good. By the pricking of my thumb. Something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What dost you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you, by that which you profess, however you come to know it, answer me. Though you untie the winds and let them fight against the churches, though yeasty waves confound and swallow navigation up, though bladed corn be lodged and trees blown down, though castles topple on their warders' heads, though palaces and pyramids do slope to their foundations, even till destruction sicken, answer me to what I ask you.
Speak.
Demand.
Will answer.
Say if that's rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Call him. Let me see him.
Pour in sow's blood that hath eaten her 9 pharaoh, grease that's sweatin'. From the murderer's gibbet throw into the flame.
Come high or low, thyself in office deathly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thoughts. Hear his speech, but say thou not.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth. Beware Macduff, beware the Thane of Fife. Dismiss me. Enough.
Whate'er thou art, for thy good caution, thanks. Thou hast harped my fear aright. But one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here's another more potent than the first.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth.
Thy 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man. No man of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? But yet, to make assurance double sure, I will take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this? That rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the round and top of sovereignty.
Listen, but speak not to it.
Be lion-mettled, proud, and take no care who chafes, who frets, or where conspirers are. Worthy Macbeth shall never vanquished be. To great Birnam wood, to high Dunsinane hill shall come against him.
That will never be. Who can impress the forest? Bid the tree unfix his earthbound root. Sweet bodements good. Rebellious dead never rise till wood of Burnham rise. And our high-placed Macbeth shall live the lease of nature, pay his breath to time and mortal custom. But yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me, if your art can tell so much, shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you. Let me know. What is the sound?
Show.
Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Get down! Thy crown does sear mine eyeballs. Ah! And thy hair, thou other gold-bound brow, are much like the first. Ah! A third is like the former. A fourth, start eyes. No, filthy hags, why do you show me this? Another yet. Ah! What? Will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? A seventh. Oh, no. And now the eighth appears, which bears a glass which shows me many more. Some I see twofold balls and treble scepters carry. Horrible sight! Now I see 'tis true. For the blood-boltered Banquo smiles upon me and points at them for his. No! What? Is this so?
Aye, sir. All this is so, but why stands Macbeth thus amazedly? Come, sisters, cheer we up his sprites and show the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to give a sound while you perform your antic round, that this great king may kindly say our duties did his welcome pay.
Oh. Where are they? Gone. Let this pernicious day stand I accursed in the calendar. Come in without there.
What's your grace's will?
Saw you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned be all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of a horse. Who was it came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that brings you word. Macduff is fled to England.
Fled to England.
Aye, my good lord.
Time. Thou anticipatest my dread exploits. The flighty purpose is never overtook unless the deed go with it. From this instant, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. Even now, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise. Take seize upon Fife. Give to the edge of the wife. Give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No more boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose cool. But no more sights. Where are these gentlemen? Come. Bring me where they are!
Let us seek out some desolate shade and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast our mortal sword and like good men bestride our downfall and birthdom. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, that it resounds as if felt with Scotland and yelled out like Sybil of Dolour.
What I believe, I'll wail. What no believe, and what I can redress, as I shall find the time to, friend, I will. What you have spoken may be so, perchance. This tyrant whose sole name blisters our tongues was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not harmed you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry God.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge, but I shall crave your pardon. That which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things foul would wear the brows of grace, yet grace must still look so.
I have lost my hopes.
Perchance even there where I did find my doubts, why in that rawness left you wife and child, those precious motives, those strong knots of love without leave-taking? I pray you let not my jealousies be your dishonors, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just whatever I shall think.
Bleed, bleed, poor country. Great tyranny, lay thou thy bases shore, for goodness dare not check thee. Wear thou thy wrongs, the title is afeard. Fare thee well, Lord, I would not be the villain that thou thinkest, for the whole space is in the tyrant's grasp, and the rich east to boot.
Be not offended. I speak not as in absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right. And here from England have I offer of goodly thousands, but for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer in more sundry ways than e'er by him that shall succeed.
And what should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice so grafted, for when they shall be opened, black Macbeth will seem as pure as snow, and the poor state esteem him as a lamb, being compared with my confineless harms.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth.
I grandson bloody, luxurious, avaricious, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name, but there's no bottom. None in my voluptuousness, that your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids could not fill up the cisterns of my lust and desire. All consonant impediments would overbear that did oppose my will. Better Macbeth than such as one to reign.
Boundless intemperance in nature is a tyranny, and hath been the untimely emptying of the happy throne and fall of many kings. But fear not, yet to take upon you what is yours, you may convey your pleasures in a spacious plenty, and yet seem cold. The time you may so hoodwink, we have willing dames enough. There cannot be that vulture in you to devour so many as will to greatness dedicate themselves, finding it so inclined.
With this there grows in my most ill-composed temperance such a stanchless avarice, that were I king, I should cut off nobles for their lands, desire his jewels in this other's house, and my more having would be as a sauce to make me hunger more, that I should forge quarrels, unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth.
This avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious fruit than summer seeming lust, and hath been the sword of our slain kings. Yet do not fear, Scotland hath poisons to fill up your will of your mere own. All these are portable with other graces weighed.
But I have none, the king becoming graces, as justice, verity, temperance, bounty, perseverance, mercy, loneliness, devotion, patience, courage, fortitude. I have no relish of them, but abound in the division of each several crime, acting in many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on Scotland.
Oh, Scotland!
If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live. O nation miserable, with an untitled tyrant, bloody sceptered, when shalt thou see thy wholesome days again? Since that the truest issue of thy throne, by his own interdiction stands accursed, and does blaspheme his breed. Thy royal father was a most sainted king. The queen that bore thee more often on her knees than on her feet. Died every day she lived, fare thee well. These evils thou repeatest upon thyself hath banished me from Scotland. My breast, thy hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples of thy good truth and nature. For God above deal between thee and me, for even now I put myself to thy direction, and unspeak mine own detraction. Here abjure the taints and blames I have laid upon myself as strangers to my nature. For I am yet unknown to woman, never was forsworn, scarcely have coveted what was mine own, at no time broke my faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than life. My first false speaking was this upon myself. What I am is thine, and my poor country's to command. Whither indeed, before thy here approach, good Seward was already at a point, setting forth with 10,000 warlike men. Now we'll together, and our chance for goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once. 'Tis hard to reconcile.
Well, more anon. Comes the king forth, I pray you.
Aye, sir, there are a crew of wretched souls that stay his cure. Their malady convinces the great essay of art, but at his touch such sanctity hath heaven given his hand. They presently amend.
I thank you, doctor.
What's the disease he means?
'Tis called the evil, a most miraculous work in this good king, which often since my here remain in England I have seen him do. How he solicits heaven himself best knows, but strangely visits people, all swollen and ulcerous, pitiful to the eye. The mere despair of surgery he cures, hanging a golden stamp about their necks, put on with holy prayers. And 'tis spoken by the succeeding royalty how he leads the healing benediction. With this strange gift of virtue, he hath the heavenly gift of prophecy, and sundry blessings hang about his throne that speak him full of grace.
See who comes here.
My countryman, but yet I know him not.
My ever-gentle cousin, welcome hither.
I know him now. Good God, but times remove the means that make us strangers.
Sir, amen.
Stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, It cannot be called our mother but our grave, where no one who knows nothing is once seen to smile, where sighs and creaks and groans are marked there are made and not marked, where the dead men's knell is scarce asked for who, and good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps, dying or ere they sicken.
Oh, relation too nice and yet too true.
What's the newest grief?
Each minute doth hiss the speaker, each minute teems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well?
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace?
No, they were well at peace when I last did leave them.
Be not a coward of your speech. How goes it?
When I came hither to bear the tidings which I have heavily borne, there was a rumor that was about of many a worthy fellow that were out, which was to my belief witnessed the rather before I had seen the tyrant's power afoot. Now is the time for help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England have graciously offer good steward and 10,000 men, an older and better soldier none that Christendom gives out.
What I could answer this comfort with the like, but I do have words that would be howled out in the desert air where hearing should not latch to them.
What concern they? The general cause, or is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
No mind that's honest, but in it shares some woe, for the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound ever yet they heard.
I guess it.
Your castle is surprised. Your wife, your babes, savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner of this quarry of these murdered deer to add the death of you.
Merciful heaven, what man ne'er pull your hat upon your brows? Give sorrow words, the grief that does not speak whispers the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
My children killed too?
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence, my wife killed too?
I have said.
Be comforted, let us make medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. What, oh, my pretty ones, did you say all? Oh, Helgate, all? What, all my pretty chickens in their dam at one fell swoop?
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so, but I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things that were most precious to me. Sinful Macduff, they were all struck for me. Not that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it.
I could play the woman with mine eyes and braggart with my tongue, but gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front, bring down this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length set him. If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Macbeth is ripe for shaking. All powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, bear her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterward seal it, and again return to bed, yet all this while in a most fast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature indeed, to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her. She has light by her continually. 'Tis her command.
Look at her. You see? Her eyes are open.
Aye. Their senses are shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action to seem as thus washing her hands. I've known her to continue in this a quarter of an hour.
Yet here's a spot.
Do you mark that? I shall set down what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, damned spot! Out, I say! 1, 2. Why then, 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie. A soldier and afeard? What need we fear who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What, will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to, you have known what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not. I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
Yet here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes in Arabia cannot sweeten this little hand. Oh!
What a sigh! The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well.
Pray God it be, sir.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those who walk in their sleep to die holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Get on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on his grave.
Even so.
To bed, to bed. There's a knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed, to bed, to bed.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad, unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their death pillows do discharge their secrets. More need she the divine than the physician. So look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her. So good night. My mind she has mated, and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
The English power is near, led on by Malcolm, the noble Seward, and the good Macduff. Revenge is burning them, for their dear causes would to the bleeding and the grim alarm excite the mortified man.
Near Burnham Wood shall well we meet them. That way are they coming.
I have a file of all the gentry. There is Seward and many unrough youths that even now protest their first of manhood.
What does the tyrant?
Great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad, others that lesser hate him do call it valiant fury. But for certain, he cannot buckle his distempered cause within the belt of rule.
Now does he feel his secret murder sticking on his hands. Now minutely revolts upbraid his faith breach. Those he commands move only in command, nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him, like a giant's robe upon a dwarfish thief.
Who then shall blame his pestered senses to recoil and start when all that is within him does condemn itself for being there?
Well, march we on, to give obedience where 'tis truly owed. Meet we the medicine of the sickly wheel, and with him pour in our country's purge each drop of us.
Or so much as it needs to do the sovereign flower and drown the weeds. Make we our march towards Burnham.
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all till Burnham Wood remove to Dunsinane. I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth. No man born of woman shall ever have power upon thee. Then fly, false Thanes, and mingle with the English epicures. The mind that I sway by and the heart that I bear shall never sag with doubt nor shake with fear. The devil damn thee black, thou cream-faced loon. Where got'st thou that goose look?
There's 10,000
Geese, villain?
soldiers, sir.
Oh, go prick thy cheek and overread thy fear, thou lily-livered boy. What soldiers, Patch? Oh, death of thy soul, those linen cheeks of thine are counselors to fear. What soldiers, wave-face?
The English force, so please you.
Yeah, take thy face hence. Satan! I'm sick at heart when I behold. Satan, I say! This push shall cheer me ever, or deceit me now. I've lived long enough. My way of life is fallen into the seer, the yellow leaf, and that which should accompany old age, such as love, honor, obedience, troops of friends, I must look not to have, but in their stead, curses. Not loud, but deep, mouth honor, breath which the poor heart would fain deny and dare not. Satan! Oh.
What's thy gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Bring me my armor.
'Tis not needed.
I'll put it on! Send out more horses. Scur the country round. Hang those that talk of fear. Bring me my armor. How does thy patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not, doctor, minister to a mind diseased? Pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow, raise out the written troubles of the brain, and with some oblivious antidote, cleanse the stuffed bosom of the perilous stuff which weighs upon the heart?
Therein the patient must minister himself.
Throw physic to the dogs. I'll none of it. Satan! Bring me my armor! Come, give me my staff. The thanes fly from me, doctor. Come, sir, dispatch. If thou could, doctor, cast the water of my lands, find her disease, and purge it to a pristine and sound health, I would applaud thee to the very echo that should applaud again. Pull it off, I say. What rhubarb, cinna, or what purgative drug would scour these English hints? Hearest thou of them?
Your royal preparation makes us hear something.
Bring it before me. I shall not be afraid of death and bane till Burnham Wood come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane away and clear, profit again should hardly draw me here.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand that Chambers will be safe.
We doubt it nothing.
What is this before us?
The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bow and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host and make discovery ere and report of us.
It shall be done.
We learn no other, but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane and will endure our setting down before it.
'Tis their main hope. For where there is advantage to be given, both more or less have given him the revolt, and none serve with him but constrained things whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe. Thoughts speculative, their unsure hopes relate, but certain issue strokes must arbitrate, towards which advance the war!
Hang out our banners on the outward wall. The cry is still, they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here let them lie till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them dareful, beard to beard, and sent them backward home. What is that noise?
It is the cry of woman, my good lord.
I've almost forgotten the taste of fears. The time has been, my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair would at a dismissal treatise rouse and stir as life were in it. I've supped full of horrors. Direness, familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
she should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. A poor player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
Gracious my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure your wrath, if it be not so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming. I say, a moving grove.
If thou speakest false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive, till famine cling thee. If thou speakest sooth, I care not if thou dost as much for me. I begin to pull in resolution, and doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not. Till Burnham Wood come to Dunsinane. And now a wood come to Dunsinane. Arm, and out! If what thou avouchest does appear, there is nor flying hence, nor tarrying here. I begin to be weary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell! Blow wind, come rack! At least we'll die with harness on our back!
Now near enough. Your leafy screens slow down and make like those you are. You, worthy uncle, shall with my cousin, your right noble son, lead our first battle. Macduff and we shall take upon what else remains to do, according to our order.
Fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight, let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Make all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and death.
They have tied me to a stake, and I cannot fly, but bear-like I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a man am I to fear, or none!
What is thy name?
Thou'lt be afraid to hear it.
No, though thou callest thyself a hotter name than any is in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No, nor more fearful.
Thou liest. Abhorred tyrant! With my sword I shall prove the lie thou speakest!
Thou wast born of woman. But swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn, brandished by man that's of a woman born.
That way the noise is! Tyrant, show thy face! If thou beest slain, and with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still. I cannot strike at wretched currents whose arms are hired to bear their staves. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my sword with an unbattered edge I sheathe again, undeeded. By this great clatter, one of greatest note seems brooded. Let me find him fortune, and more I beg not.
This way, my lord. The castle's gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely in the war. The day itself almost professes yours. Little is to do.
We have met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir, the castle.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on mine sword, whilst I see lives the gashes do better on theirs?
Turn, hellhound, turn!
Of all men else, I have avoided thee. But get thee back. My soul is charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword, thou bloodier villain than term can give thee out.
Thou losest labor. As easy mayst thou the entrenchant air with thy keen sword impress as make me bleed. Let fall thy blade on vulnerable crests. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to man of woman born.
Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee Macduff was from their mother's womb untimely ripped.
Accursed be the tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man, and me no more believed. These juggling fiends that palter with us in a double sense, who promise us to our hearts and break it to our hope. I will not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee as our rarer monsters are, painted upon a pole and underwrit. Here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet and be baited with the rabble's curse. Thou would become the Dunsinane, and thou opposed, being of no woman born. I will try the last. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be he who first cries, "Hold, enough!"
How would the friends we miss were safe arrived?
Some must go off, and yet by these I see, so great a day as this is cheaply bought.
Macduff is missing, and noble Seward.
Seward, my lord, has paid a soldier's debt. He only lived yet till he was a man, that nothing confirmed in his prowessness. But like a man, he died.
Then he is dead.
Aye, brought at the front. Thy cause of sorrow cannot be measured in his worth, for then it hath no end.
Had he his hurts before?
Aye, on the front.
Aye, then God's soldier be he. Had I as many sons as I had heirs, I would not wish them to a fairer death. He's worth more sorrow, and that I'll spend for him. He's worth no more. They say he paid his score, and so God be with him. Here comes newer comfort.
Hail, King, for so thou art. Behold, where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. I see thee, compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, that speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland!
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves. My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be called earls, the first in Scotland in such an honor named. What's more to do, which we be marked newly with the time, is calling home our exiled friends abroad that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel minsters of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who has 'tis thought by self and violent hands took off her own life. This, and what needful else, we will perform, in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all at once, and to each one, whom we invite to see us crowned at the scone.
Hail, King of Scotland!